Hey guys, what's up? It's Clary Berry, and I'm here today to bring to you a talking video, Twin Flame Talks. This will be added to my playlist, Twin Flames Talks playlist, so check that out. But I've been thinking a little bit more over the months, kind of formulating this idea of relating the flame, twin flame, the flame in general, fire in general, to the holistic law of attraction. And it's very applicable to twin flames because the process is one and the same. It's kind of all intertwined because the way we attract things in our lives, you know, it has to do with everything. It doesn't just have, oh, well, this is how we attract one thing and this is how we attract the other thing. If you want to find your happiness, the life that you're supposed to be living in all ways, whether it's mission, coming into being on purpose, or, finding your person, or having peace in all of your relationships, or finally being, truly not only financially stable, but actually in a free and freeing way. I think that's what we all truly want. We want to do something that we enjoy, that doesn't even feel like work. We want to be our own boss so we can eat and go to the bathroom when we want to, all of these different things. And so, I think a lot of us, and myself included, have really tried over the years to, apply the law of attraction just as we knew it, not my holistic law of attraction, but, your regular, everyday, average law of attraction to your relationships. And I know that a lot of you, and, we're in the same boat, myself included, were not succeeding with that. And so, of course, that's kind of what my program is all about, tying in these principles, because as soon as I really got into Twin Flame Tarot and the Twin Flame community, my life started really changing for real. And it's just been a continual journey of getting deeper and deeper into this understanding of the law of attraction. It's just part of my journey here, and as well as yours. That's why you're here. Many blessings. But like I said, I want to get into this a little bit deeper so that we can kind of get into our subconscious and really, not just, it's one thing to know something. It's one thing to, oh yeah, I hear that. I resonate with that. I know that to be true. It's a whole nother thing to remember something on a daily basis. Remember it when you're going through, less than ideal times, all of those sort of things, right? A whole nother level. And that's kind of where I think a lot of us are at, is where we know stuff, we know these deeper concepts, we're starting to get into them deeper and deeper, and we have been maybe for years, for months, for decades, for weeks, whatever. But again, it's being able to kind of live them out on a daily basis. That is really the important, I wouldn't say it's the most important piece, but it's the final piece. Because again, if you know the holistic law of attraction, you go through all of the tarot elements. You go through, your mind, your swords is your mental, your emotions have to kind of wrap around and support the emotion, or the idea that you want to manifest. And then you have to act on it. You have to have, you have to believe in it enough to spend time and energy on it. And then you have to keep on doing that over time to really get the ball rolling. So again, that over time is what's really tying the pieces together. And that's that final part of the step where it's like, yes, this is really happening, and you actually start to see more and more results. Okay, so you've heard me say many probably times, if you've been here before, conceive, believe, achieve. That's kind of your basic standard manifestation, it's common, common knowledge, common saying, but it's very important here. And it kind of goes with our with our triangle of fire, if you will. And sometimes you see it as 3 and sometimes you see it as 4, but I mean, the 3 is going to be, obviously mind, emotions, actions. And actions kind of gets lumped together because, again, it's actions and it's actions over time. Or you can also kind of think about it as actions / actions over time. And then finally, the final piece of the puzzle is what you actually get back. That's your karma. That's your results that come back to you. So however you want to think about it, whatever you resonate with. So I got to thinking about it again, kind of with the twin flames and just with the flame in general. And it really makes sense to me to kind of think about this whole process as a flame. And when you have a flame, when you have fire, you need 3 main things. And there is like the fire triangle. So you need air, you need heat, and you need fuel. Okay. So basically, let's just go through the basic stages. of fire, okay? So there's like a preheating phase where, you know, the temperature is just raising, okay? Raising temperature. This, well, I'm just gonna go over the basics, and then we'll get into how it relates a little bit to, you know, the law of attraction and the elements and our actions and thoughts, beliefs, expectations, feelings, actions over time, etc. Okay? So again, preheating stage, temperature starts to raise a little bit, okay? Raise. There's, you know, science that whatever, you know, gases become volatile, all this stuff. Temperature of the fuel is going to increase, okay? So your pre-ignition phase, this is one of your more crucial stages here, or important. Pre-ignition. The volatile materials are actually being vaporized. This is about to burst. Things are about to happen, okay? Then you have the flaming, okay? You have ignition temperatures reached. You have combustion, you know, the actual combustion, like shit coming together and happening, okay? Boom. There you go. You have a flame out of nothing. Not really out of nothing, but. Next, you have transition. So your fuel is partially consumed and the flaming continues, okay? Smoke begins. And then you have the smoldering phase where combustion is really complete, and then you just have like residual smoke production. Okay, so, you know, we're getting here kind of deep. You know, there's more. There's like the glowing and the oxygen and like all of this stuff. But for our purposes, just kind of, again, of sinking this process in a little bit deeper of this holistic law of attraction, the preheating is almost like when we are just sitting there thinking about something. You know, you're just thinking. You're literally just thinking this, thinking that, thinking this. Nothing's really happening, but something's kind of happening under the surface where you can't really see it, okay? So all of our thoughts have the potential to create something, create a flame, you know, bring you and your twin flame back together. Your thoughts do have that. You are very powerful, okay? Or, you know, again, whatever success and things that you want in your life, especially the more pure with, again, I always talk about. And this is something I want to bring up too. It's kind of finding the alignment with what is actually your purpose, okay? Because again, we think a lot of things that we want and they never happen. And you're like, oh, I'm glad that never happened, you know? And it's like, it's kind of a process. You're scanning through, having all these thoughts. The pre-stage is finding the right ones, right? That's the preheating stage. Okay, so pre-ignition, again, volatile materials getting vaporized. Things are happening. It's about to burst out into a flame. It's about to combust, okay? So this is just your thinking. This is, you know, I mean, we could break it down to different elements and say this is air. It's not really that simple, but this is the stage, again, where you're coming up on something. More things are moving. Fuel's getting vaporized. Okay, so the fuel would actually be, well, I guess fuel. So your thoughts are there. Again, the preheating, the thoughts are there. And then the heat is is when you add your emotions on there. And that's kind of the difference. So the heat is your emotions, and that when it heats up like that and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter to where it's about to burst, that is when you put the emotions around your thoughts. Okay, so that's not just, oh, you have a thought and it's gone. Oh, you have a thought and it's gone. That's noticing, I'm having these same thoughts over a period of time. Maybe I should put some more energy into them. Maybe I should think about them more. Toss them around, flip them around. Is this really a good idea? Is this really what I want? Okay, remember that's all kind of moving from the preheating to the pre-ignition stage, because as we do that, we're putting more emotion around it. As we think about something more, we're naturally getting more. And if you get attached to the idea, that's what you want. That's getting emotional about something, is repeating the thought, putting more energy, even if you're just doing them, you know, the law of attraction can work for some people just on a regular basis, just not even holistic law of attraction. Regular law of attraction can work for people because naturally they start to get excited about what they're thinking about. So it's like you don't even need to tell them to go ahead and do these next stages. But for some people, you know, they just don't get that next piece. And again, the heat is those emotions that we're wrapping around these thoughts. So when we think about thoughts, when you sit down and plan, when you sit down and visualize, and when you even pray and give thanks for what you're visualizing, and all of these things, anything, you know, spending time with it to where you're really getting excited about it and planning out, you know, again, spending time thinking about the ins and outs, it'll naturally get you more excited. Again, if it's something that you're really supposed to be doing, it'll all fall into place. It'll all feel great. Okay. So this is what we have to do to get things really moving. And it feels great, you know, whenever you're like, yes, I'm so excited about something. And that's where it's like, it's the journey, not the destination, because it's fun and exciting. Okay, so that's the pre-ignition stage. Put those emotions around those. And again, it does happen naturally in some instances, okay? So the next stage, again, we have flaming, okay? When stuff happens, it's because we're actually acting on it, okay? So you could say fuel. Fuel goes with actions, because like wood, stuff that's burning is like wands, you know, actions. It's kind of all the same. It all flows together here. But again, not quite so simple as one might like to think about it. But if it helps you to simplify it, then go for it, okay? But this is your active combustion stage. Poof, again, seemingly out of nothing, we have the creation of a flame. We have manifested fire. We have manifested our flame, okay? And again, this could be your twin flame, or it could just be the flame within yourself. And again, if you are watching this and you don't have a twin flame, or you are so far removed from your twin flame that you almost think it's hopeless, don't worry, because that flame within you is the first step, okay? So, and you know, I'll get into that more in other videos. I'm not going to get into what that means, but so flaming, you know, your ignition temperature is reached. It's hot enough. You have enough emotions surrounded the thought that you are not, you're invested. You're invested not only that you spent time thinking about it and planning about it, but now you're in the action stage. You will not move to the action stage unless you are sufficiently motivated emotionally. Okay? That is why it's all, I always say it's got to be alignment. It's all got to come together. And I hope this is resonating with you guys. I really do. Okay, because people need to understand this. And again, it's so simple. A lot of times I'm not telling you something that you don't know. I'm just maybe either explaining it in a different way or just simply reminding you of what you already know to be true. Okay, so bam, you start acting on something. You're not going to waste time, energy, possibly even money or whatever else on something that you're not excited about, or you shouldn't. Because if not, again, go back to the preheating stage and figure out what you really want. Okay, so the flaming, you know, and do you want to keep it going? Do you want a flame that just poof, lights up into a flame and then goes right out? Of course not. So what do? We have to keep acting. We have to keep acting on, you know, otherwise you're gonna smolder, smoke out, and then the flame's gonna go down, okay? And it's not like you can just stop any one of the other, you know, you can't just take away the oxygen. You can't just take away the air or the thoughts. If you start thinking negative about it, that's like when people win the lottery. Like somehow they manifested that they won all this money, they believed enough to buy a ticket, and then after that, they lose it all. Why? Because they literally walked around saying, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe that this happened. And they didn't plan for that long-term phase, okay? So poof, it's out. What does that do for you? Absolutely nothing. That's why during your conceiving stage and believing stage, the inner stages, that's why you have to really wrap your head around the entire thing. You don't just sit there and dream and visualize and plan and put all these positive emotions about getting what you want. You have to really become one with, again, the ideas that your life's going to change, that these things are going to happen. Well, if I get this, you know, then what's going to happen? Then what do we do? You know, you have to kind of toss that stuff around and kind of like know it. You have to know the life that you want kind of inside and out. Hopefully that makes sense. So again, you know, if you know, you have transition stage, smoke begins, fuel is partially consumed. So you're not only relying on your emotions at this point and the inner, now flaming continues because you actually have your thoughts, you have, you know, your air, whatever, you have your emotions, which is your heat, and you have your fuel, and your fuel's not gone. So you're not stopping your actions that got you what you wanted. You know what I mean? That's like the healing. If you have positive actions, if you have positive things happening because you read, you know, or you read, I always say that, because you watched the program or you did some work, then don't just say, oh, I'm healed, I'm going to stop. You keep going so that your dream and your, you know, your goal still keeps going. okay? You need all three elements, and it gets easier though. It really does. It gets easier, and you have to realize your emotions, your air, you know, your thoughts, your fuel, it's never ending. You can produce positive thoughts. You can produce positive emotions. You can produce positive actions. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to keep your flame going, okay? So as long as you're continuing to have the positive thoughts, emotions, and actions, then that is really all you need. And over time, you're gonna get what you want, okay? And like I said, it gets easier because your thoughts are based on the past, and that's why we get tripped up so much. That's why we have to do the shadow work and inner child healing, like in my program, claryberry.com, by the way. But whenever you have a positive thought and then you have the positive action, you go through the stages, and then you actually complete, you know, the triangle or whatever, complete the circle, and then you get what you want. That only makes your next thought so much easier. Usually, again, you know, not in every case, but usually you're like, look at what I did. Look at what I created. Look at how great things are going in my life. I have every reason, you know, to believe that these things are going to keep on going right. And that's like your cycle of creation and positive self-esteem. Whereas it can go, I mean, obviously it can go the opposite way, where if you have a negative thought and then you have negative feelings and then you have negative actions because of those negative thoughts, beliefs, feelings, expectations, etc., then you're going to get a negative result, which is going to make you expect more of a negative result. And that's where we get so stuck. And that is why we have to go deep into our subconscious. That's why we have to do the shadow work and the inner child healing, to get down there, to get in there, to kind of dislodge some of these negative thought. It's not just a thought pattern again. The thought patterns are real. They do stick. And it's like over and over and over, tens and tens and tens, maybe 100,000 thoughts a day, largely negative, repeating. But again, it's not just the thoughts. The thoughts are creating the beliefs and the emotions. The emotions are, again, adding fuel to the fire here, or adding heat to the fuel, you know, to the actions. It's causing this negative cycle, okay? So again, it's like, it's happening whether you're paying attention to it or not, just like they say in your, you know, conventional law of attraction. So beware, take care. It starts with the thoughts, but it is not just thoughts, okay? So make sure that you are feeding the flame, and it's about keeping that flame going. And this is kind of like an awareness thing, and like what is being woke, it's actually being conscious of what we're doing and what we're attracting in our lives, what we're choosing. I mean, a lot of it, it seems out there for people to be like, oh, law of attraction, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes down to it, when you explain it like this, it's actually so fundamental that it's like silly that we don't know. It really is, honestly, silly that we don't know about this stuff in our cultures. And I think that, you know, one of the best things we can do is teach these processes to our children, to our kids coming up and the new generations, because we used to have this knowledge. We should have this knowledge. Everybody should know. I mean, we're learning how our bodies work. We need to learn, you know, how our minds and how we manifest as well. You know, even if it's on a totally, you know, A, B, C, D, E, this level, like, even if you want to numb it down, you know, for the skeptics or whatever, it's very, very simple when it comes down to it. But it's simple to understand in some ways, but it takes a leap of faith, and it also takes being conscious. It takes repeated action and attention. And that's why, again, protect your flame at all cost. And that doesn't mean just protect your thoughts or just protect your emotions. I mean, those things, again, that's where you start, because again, your thoughts and your emotions kind of make your actions. They create, and they, at the very least, you know, greatly color or tinge, you know, your actions. So protect your flame, protect the building blocks of your flames. Watch your actions, watch your thoughts, watch your emotions. You can control them. You want to bring up your emotions? Check out my mood boosters. It's also in the Twin Flames Talks playlist. Mood boosters, you know, watch those thoughts, mantras. If you go to my Pinterest, I've got a couple different boards. The peace board, I started with a mantra board, and now it just gives me so many beautiful quotes and ideas, and even art pictures, just things that, you know, if I'm feeling negative, I can just go on there, automatically raises my vibe and brings me back to, you know, again, back to the things I already knew, but that I temporarily forgot because, oh yeah, c'est la vie, such is life, busy, 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 go, 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 this and that knocks us off our path, you know, temporarily for however long, you know, hopefully just a very short time, and then you come right back to it. Because again, if your flame's still hot, it's going to be easier to spark back up again, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so I don't want to make this too long. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you like it. Again, your thoughts is like the air, your emotions is the heat, your fuel is the action, and that is all you need to, again, especially over time, create the flame. Protect the flame with your life, because this is you. You know, this is your life. This is how you are getting either what you want or what you don't want. It's happening all around you. So much love, many blessings. Take care. I will come back and talk to you guys real soon. Bye.